rolling with these dudes. And I got this last thing to say. Wax said he was going to destroy developing option, right? So who going to replace developing option? Which one of you 60s going to call yourself coming in? Because whoever try to come in, y'all the ones that's working with Wax. Believe that. So remove me to get me out the way for somebody else to come in who going to cooperate. That's what the play is.
TV shows aren't enough. Martin was on porn with Just Rel while Bully took aim, Dal Prospect Rel, but with a possible 600 years hanging over his head, the court already made it crystal clear, yeah, he's not touching daylight. But get this, from behind bars, the feds say he's still pulling strings, trying to run this whole finesse operation. I'm talking witness pressure, media manipulation, jury pool poisoning, and even name-dropping the president. Now the whole scheme is unraveling, and honey, the feds came with receipts. So the real question is, can all that clout save him? Or is this Big U's final act? Let's spill all the tea. So Big U's detention hearing was on April 22nd at 9:30 in the morning at the downtown LA courthouse. And trust me, the courtroom was packed with his people, family, supporters, all there showing love. But even with all that support, the judge wasn't having any of it. The judge totally sided with the prosecutors and said there was enough evidence to keep him locked up. They called him a flight risk and a danger to the community, so no bail. He's staying behind bars, period. Now here's where it gets insane. The government dropped this whole memo supporting his detention, and yes, it's official. His legal name, Eugene Henley Jr., is right there. But what's truly eye-popping is the long list of names they've got for him. Big U, Uncle Draws, Hannibal Muhammad, anybody. Killer Dave Alston, like they literally laid it all out in a document. The feds are basically saying Big U's been living this total double life. They claim he spent years pretending to be this reformed gang member and community leader, but behind the scenes, allegedly running a criminal empire using fear, violence, and intimidation to stay in power across LA for decades. They've accused him of some serious crimes too: extortion, robbery, wire fraud, bank fraud, and even human trafficking. And now that he's locked up, they say he's trying to get out on bail by playing the "I've changed" card, but the feds are like, nah, that's just a cover-up. They even say he's been scamming celebrities and donors, making them think they were helping underprivileged kids when really he was just pocketing the money for himself. And girl, even while in custody, they say he's still trying to use his celebrity connections to work things in his favor. And here's the wild part. They claim he told someone on a phone call that he might be able to get Trump to pardon him, even though he was apparently also clowning him and calling him the Orange Man. At the hearing, the prosecutor didn't hold anything back, called Big U the self-professed most dangerous man in LA. Perfect sense. And after 9 days in jail, will go further and say that the prosecutor was a racist and said he's a serious threat to witnesses and anyone he blames for his indictment. They brought up this video Big U posted to IG after he ducked arrest last month before he finally turned himself in. In the clip, he calls out several people by name, including Whack 100, whom he apparently believes are responsible for his current legal mess.
Was actually with the police when they raided my house. And he's actually got video and footage of it, so y'all know what y'all dealing with. And I just want to say this to y'all. When they raided my houses and my property, they was asking about Whack, loose cannon, 600, and this internet stuff. All of y'all filed. All y'all who be sending around the internet, all y'all who be promoting and listening to what these saying, all y'all giving these likes and hidden likes, all y'all supporting this. All y'all guilty of this. If you had something against a black man, you should handle it with a black man in the streets. Wax said 100 times he was gonna take my contracts. He working with the FBI. The FBI went to the city 3 days in a row and told the city they didn't want nobody to give me no more money. They went to all the different celebrities and told all the different celebrities, don't give me no money, don't help me, don't do nothing for me. They going around scaring and intimidating everybody. But y'all sitting it around getting people in trouble. Like y'all don't understand what the FBI do to black men who try to help their community.
Not long after, one of his associates allegedly hopped on social media calling for those people to be killed. Yeah, that's how heavy this is. On top of that, the prosecutor said there are anonymous victims who've come forward to law enforcement, but they're too scared to testify. Potential witness even told the feds, if y'all can't even arrest him, how you going to protect me? That's terrifying. Meanwhile, Big U's lawyer is telling a completely different story. Said his client is a peaceful man just trying to uplift his neighborhood and that the government is twisting his words According to him, all that tough talk was just Big U playing a persona, showing the youth who he used to be to keep them out of the streets. But the prosecution ain't buying the Reformed Act at all. According to them, that whole non-profit thing, just smoke and mirrors, a front. They say Big U was still calling shots behind the scenes, using his ties to the Rolling 60S to run an extortion hustle. According to the feds, since 2010, Big U's operation, known as the Big U Enterprise, was basically running like a mafia. He was using his connections with the Rolling 60S and other street gangs to straight up bully businesses and people all over LA. Now, Big U's been in the game for a minute. The feds say he's a straight up leader of the Rolling 60S, made his name back in the 1980s when the gang scene was heavy D's. And if you've ever heard Big U talk about his tattoos, you know he ain't shy about his past. He said it himself. It ain't on you, it's in you. I mean, y'all remember that DJ Vlad interview, right?
Guys who just here.
Just around.
Put it like this. It ain't on you, sometimes it's in you. You know what I mean? You kind of like you walk a certain life and you live a certain life and you from a certain area. I like to tell dudes, I ain't from nowhere, I am there. That's what I am. You know what I mean? Like, it's where it's in your heart.
The feds have been watching for years, and they say Big U's been out here causing chaos. He's talked openly about his past selling drugs, taking a cut of illegal activities in his neighborhood, even running the infamous body snatcher crew. Then, when he hit prison, he didn't waste time. He allegedly started making moves there, too. Paid off guards, got into the hustle inside. Dude stayed active. Then, after he got out, Big U rebranded himself. All about the youth, community outreach, nonprofit work. Sounded good on paper, but the feds, they're saying that image was just a front. According to the case, Big U was using his nonprofit developing options in donations and government money. Funds that were supposed to go toward at-risk youth in places like Crenshaw. But instead, they claim he was stacking his own pockets with no real money. Luxury trips, multiple homes, a Mercedes, even a $30,000 0-cents necklace. It gets deeper. The feds also say he filed a fake pandemic loan app claiming his company, Unique Music, made $200 0 cents in 2019 when it actually lost money. That's federal loan fraud if true, and all that cash coming into the nonprofit, the feds say a good chunk of it came from celebrities, athletes, and even federal grants through LA's Gang Reduction Youth Development Program. But instead of helping the kids, it allegedly went straight into Big U's personal bank account. And here's where it gets dark. Prosecutors are also pointing the finger at Big U for the kidnapping of a young rapper named Ray Sean Williams, someone who was once real close to the family. We're talking deeper than business. Ray Sean wasn't just some artist on a label. He used to be tight with Big U's son Dion back when they played football together at Crenshaw High. Dion went on to the NFL, but Ray Sean, his story ended in a ditch outside Las Vegas in January 2021. Ray Sean was found shot multiple times and dumped in the desert. And word is, Big U was one of the last people seen with him. According to the FBI, Big U flew Ray Sean out to Vegas, supposedly to record at a Grammy-winning producer's studio. But instead of laying down tracks like planned, Ray Sean drops a diss track. Yeah, he clowned Big U, called him a broke that makes some money, and joked about the studio delay. And but that might have been the fuse that lit the fire. Now here's where things get dark. Feds say Big U touched down in Vegas himself, personally drove Ray Sean out to North Las Vegas and allegedly shot him in the head, then dragged his body into the desert and left him there. But this ain't just hearsay. The receipts are heavy. Prosecutors say Big U tried to cover it up, allegedly had people delete the studio's surveillance footage, the last known footage of what really went down. And it don't stop there. Big U allegedly told everybody at the studio to keep their mouth shut, no cops, no question. And when it came time for the funeral, he was ghost. No call, no show, no condolences to the family, just vanished like none of it happened. And yeah, let's talk about Nipsey's death. A lot of people still point the finger at Big U, wondering if he had any involvement. The whispers are real and people ain't forgetting.
And I'm on a phone, he FaceTime me. So he FaceTime me and stuff like that. He was like, Nipsey just got killed. I'm like, 6 I didn't hear that. So I hang up with him.
So the Nipsey and Big U story goes way back to Suge Knight. Big U saw Suge running death row like a mob boss, using intimidation to get what he wanted. Big U took notes, learning how power moves behind the scenes. But while Suge got tangled up in legal issues, Big U wasn't waiting around. In 1996, he started his own label, Unique Music, with his partner, Bear Claw. That's where he linked up with Nipsey, who was actually Big U's nephew's friend. Then Whack 100 says Big U actually knocked Nip out involved during that fight, and this all went down during one of their first major fallouts. Now, whether you believe Loopy, Wack, or Big U, one thing's clear. This wasn't just about music, it was about power, control, and two different visions for Nip's career. Some of those early cracks set the stage for what happened next. Fast forward to 2018, Nip's getting honored with the Businessman Award. The speaker talks about Nip grinding in his closet, humble beginnings, the whole room shown love. But this is where it shifts. Big U used to walk Nip on stage, and Nip always gave Big U his props. Nip valued loyalty, always wanting his day ones in the room with him.
There's been rumors that LA is probably one of the most dangerous places for rappers. Do you believe that's true?
Yeah. Wow. Because, I mean, everybody be checking in. That's your favorite thing to do, check in with somebody that's gonna rob your stupid ass.
Right.
One clip even popped up of Big U pressing a movie crew to check in, and the vibe, straight up intimidation.
Production in the hood. That's how we do it, young man.
Top flight, baby. Security.
GB running this here movie set in the hood.
Come on out here.
They coming out here and checking in with GB, getting these movies done. You better know it. You know, anytime you want to do movies in the hood, just check it in. We can make sure it's done. Movies, videos. But if you don't check it in,
Oh, well. Let's go check your ass out.
we're going to check you in, all right? We're going to check in all of your equipment. We're going to check in all of your equipment.
Now here's where it gets wild. According to a confidential witness, there was a high-stakes dice game in LA back in June 2019. Big money on the table. A pro boxer, only identified as AB, pulled up with his crew and allegedly rigged the game with loaded dice. Ended up scamming NBA players out of millions. But here's the twist. AB didn't check in with Big U first. So what did Big U do? Allegedly sent some rolling 60s to put hands on the boxer and get the money back for the players. But it didn't stop there. The feds say Big U then made the NBA players cough up $100,000, 0 cents, just for him to negotiate the situation. Basically, he got back to fix a mess he orchestrated. Now buckle up, it gets darker. Investigators say Big U was caught on wiretaps extorting a business owner, aka Victim 1. He used his co-defendant, Sylvester Robinson, to apply pressure, but Big U also got directly involved. The calls laced with threats of violence if that extortion money didn't come through. When Victim 1 stopped answering Big U's calls, boom! Multiple armed robbers showed up at his dispensary and ran it. Then Big U turned around and demanded $10,000, 0 cents to prevent more hits. Straight up pay for protection tactics. And the wiretaps? They caught everything. Big U and his crew talking about other robberies they were planning like it was just business as usual. One of them even bragged that Big U was the only OG still out here catching bodies. And wait, there's more! Victim 2, who owned the club where Big U threw his birthday party in December 2021, got hit too. Big U allegedly demanded $30, 0 cents for the event when the club owner tried to lowball it at $20. Then he allegedly sent Robinson, Mark Martin, and some rolling 60s to go press him in person and shake that $30,000, 0 cents out of him. But that's not even half of it. The feds say Big U was playing this whole extortion game on a whole other level. Yeah, they've got him on a few extortion charges with Victim 1 and Victim 2, but the truth? He had a whole network of fear-based schemes going down. Then there's the power flex. On November 23rd, 2022, Big U was caught saying he could pay 3 people $50, 0 cents each to beat someone up because a store wouldn't give him a discount. Like real talk. He was using pennies to put hands on people. And on April 17th, 2023, Big U had someone drop a cold message on a dispensary owner. He messed with the wrong guy. Straight to the point.
I could have gone to Big U and said, hey, can you handle this for me? But I know that if I did that, now I would owe Big U a favor.
Yeah,
and what does that mean? What does that entail? Now, that might turn into an extortion on my end.
And listen, don't forget, Big U's been banned from touching heat since '92 after that 23-year stretch for armed robbery, drug moves, and conspiracy. But did that stop him? Absolutely not. Feds say he never stopped carrying, even after prison. The ego was loud, but so was the threat. April 1st, 2023, another tapped convo. Big U casually asked someone to go grab his blower, said he left it in a blue sweatshirt in front of a tire like it was nothing. And yo, the boldness didn't stop. Right before he was supposed to get arrested, Big U dipped with his phones. Then, like he wanted all the smoke, posted on IG name-dropping his co-defendants and roughly told the public not to mess with them and said if they did, they ain't black.
These dudes been saying I did all year. So what they doing is they go on the internet and these dudes say that I did shit on the internet. Then when you say I did on the internet, they go investigate it. Now you raiding my houses, raiding my shops, raiding all this stuff, and talking about I'm committing crimes and covering up with developing option. What crimes am I committing to cover up with developing option? Come on. Now they on there saying all this stuff to assassinate my character. All right, man, just pray for me. And again, they can do any one of us. It ain't nobody safe with these dudes. If these dudes feel they want you, how they going around talking about somebody's gonna raid my house before my house get raided? How they there with the police? And y'all sitting there following them. Everybody that's a part of them shows, and 100 shows, and all them shows, and y'all need to, everybody who following them, promoting them, anything. Y'all wrong. Y'all ain't black. And y'all show ain't for our people. But a help to our community. But I guess it is what it is. This the price of being black and trying to help somebody, trying to help your community and do what you can. You just guilty because somebody else don't like you and they go on the internet and do what they want to, and y'all gonna promote it. It's crazy.
Feds say he was trying to poison the jury pool with those posts too, crying racial profiling and blaming everybody else for his charges. Classic deflection. But that game didn't work. This whole sting operation drawdown brought in a total of 19 people, and some of the names, real familiar. Brick Baby caught in the mix. Bear Claw and VY, allegedly top tier in the operation. Armani Afti, feds say she was moving people around for the sex trafficking side of things. Frederick Blandon Jr. and Tiffany Hines got picked up for alleged bank fraud, and Lupe wrapped up too, most likely because of his gang connection. But here's where it gets real wild. The docs say Big U's charges carry a maximum sentence of over 600 years. Yep, 600 years. That's without even stacking up all the other offenses. And even if they shave a little off because of how old some of his priors are, the guidelines still point to life in prison just off one count. Yeah, no scheme, no play, no smooth talk is getting him out of this one. But what do y'all think? Is Big U finished, or does he still got a play left in him? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear from you.